Hello, my soulful babes. I don't really have a plan for this video, but I wanted to come here quickly and share with you something that I think will change my life. It's a 4-day training that I'm doing called Spinal Energetics. And I want to share with you the notes that I wrote after my first Spinal Energetic session, which I had a huge breakthrough with. So it says, it's safe for me to rest. It's safe for me to trust. It's safe for me to pause and wait for the guidance of my energy. My energy is guided by my ancestors, my lineage. I can choose to listen to my body, and I can choose to invite my body to listen to me. My parents and my ancestors and the collective have created this path for me. My parents and ancestors and the collective are supporting me in this journey of stepping into my power and becoming the visionary who helps to create a better world for all. I am breaking the molds of what it means to be a woman. I'm helping other women reimagine their lives. I help them stretch their minds, challenge old habits that are keeping them stuck, and reclaim their highest version of themselves. We get to create the world we deserve. We don't just have to fit in. Thank you, Jessie, body, mum, dad, ancestors, and collective. So that was from my first session. And I remember the very tangible difference that this first session made in my feelings of overwhelm. So before this session, I noticed that I was constantly feeling overwhelmed, like as a baseline. When I was doing work, my shoulders would be up to my ears because I'd be like, I need to do this faster because I have so much to do. And then when I was resting or when I was cooking for myself, I'd be like, I just need to do this faster because I need to get back to work because I have so much to do. And so my nervous system was just stuck in this pattern of overwhelm when it didn't need to be. Or now I know that it doesn't need to be. And I remember after this session where I was being reminded that it's safe to slow down, I remember being so much more cognizant of when I was working or cooking or anything, and my stress and overwhelm would build up. And I would notice that, and then I'd be able to exhale the overwhelm, exhale the stress, and instantly I would relax and my nervous system would settle, and I'd be able to do my work without that feeling of overwhelm, in a state of relaxation and peace. And I believe that we can do better work, we can achieve more things, we can just be and feel better when we are relaxed. And that was a huge shift for me. And I realized that in that spinal energetic session, what was healing was my nervous system and my understanding and remembering that it's safe to slow down and I have time. But also, I was healing my mum and my grandma and my ancestors' fears around not doing enough. Because my mum, as a refugee, fled from the Vietnam War, came to a country, had nothing to her name, had no money, had no clothes, had nothing, was constantly in survival mode her whole life. And now that she's retired, she's finally working her way out of survival mode. But for 65 years of her life, she was in survival mode, and she was constantly doing more and more and more, could never sit still, could never relax, could never rest. And now that she's retired, she's gotten sick like so many times. And she was like, why is that? And I'm like, it makes complete sense to me because for however many years, 50 years, you were never able to relax. Your nervous system was like, it's not safe to get sick. I can't get sick, otherwise I'll die. So you don't get sick, but now it's all piling up. But through nature and nurture, she's past that state of overwhelm, of stress, of never, I'm never doing enough. I need to do more onto me. And I'm noticing that it comes up in my life a lot. And so that healing was not just for me, but it was for my mom and my ancestors and also the collective. I received this message a while ago that I receive messages from the collective to transmute myself in my body so that I can share and help other people transmute it within themselves. So this is, emotions, traumas, insecurities, misalignments, stuck energy. I've received this message actually a couple of times through mentors and just through downloads. And this is one of the themes because I've had a lot of clients who have experienced this as well, that constant state of overwhelm. I'm not doing enough. I've healed this in myself many times before, but it's like an onion or a spiral. It just, there's sometimes a little bit more that we need to heal and look at. And so the healing that I had in session was like out of this world, quite literally. We had an hour-long session, and then I was feeling pretty good. And I just felt so grateful for having this session with the practitioner that was supporting me, Jessie. And then I was feeling gratitude towards my body and my mum and my ancestors. And then I just started crying because I felt so much gratitude. And then it went deeper, and it was feeling the grief and the sorrow and the pain that my mom and my ancestors and so many women and femmes who didn't feel like they could slow down, who felt like they were never enough, and so they had to do more to feel worthy, to feel enough. And that I was like wailing, crying. Yeah, it was intense. It was so intense. And I was really on another dimension because it took a long time for me to come back to this earth. When our session was over, I couldn't open my eyes yet because it was just the light of this world was just too bright. And I struggled to stand up. I was like falling over, feeling really light and faint. And this is somewhat normal. It's normal when you've gone to such depths, or such frequencies that you're kind of like not on the same frequency of this earth. And so you're just kind of all over the place. Or it seems like you're all over the place. And yeah, it took me about half an hour probably to get back to earth and to be able to function on this earth. And that's when I wrote this note for myself as a reminder. Yeah, it was crazy. So that was my first session of Spinal Energetics. And for this training, I actually received the download to do this training at like 3 a.m. in the morning, when I receive a lot of my amazing downloads. And It was before I had ever done spinal energetics before. I didn't really, I hadn't heard a lot about spinal energetics. I didn't know much about spinal energetics, but I just received this download at 3 a.m. that I needed to do this training. And when I looked into it a little bit more, I had a bit of an understanding because I've done another modality called Kundalini Activation Process, CAP, before, and it's somewhat similar. And but I looked into it a little bit more after that download, and a week later I signed up because it felt like exactly what I needed to add to my offerings. As a dietitian, I love what I do. I love helping people transform. And my clients really do have deep transformations because I'm able to hold space for them, not just help them change their nutrition habits, but also change, like shift stuck energy in their bodies. And stuck emotions and stuck beliefs in their bodies. A lot of my clients are like, whoa, I didn't expect this from a session with a dietitian. And I'm like, yeah, this, I don't do just nutrition. Like that's like 30% of my work. 70% is counseling and all of this stuff. And but And I also feel like that kind of perspective of a dietitian, that very 3D perspective of a dietitian limits me. And I wanted to offer something more in the energy realm because since I started getting into the energy world, it's the way I see the world. There's no separation between it. But if I, come full out and just speak in terms of energy to the nutrition world, I think people are a little bit like, what cuckoo things are you on about? And it's a bit much. And so I have been wanting for a long time to offer something in the energetic, to offer an energetic modality. And so spinal energetics feels like that missing piece of the puzzle that I've been looking for. And so I'm so excited to do this 4-day training. Those 2 sessions, I haven't talked about the second session, but we'll do that another time because I gotta go. But I wanted to share this with you because this is the before of my training. And I know, this kind of work is not just like me, you learn it and then you do it to other people. You really have to embody it yourself. And so over these next 4 days, me and the people that are in this course, we're going to have so many shifts and breakthroughs and transformations within ourselves. And so I wanted to record this as the before and also kind of track my journey throughout the next couple of days as well to see how things progress. But in saying that, the real transformation often doesn't happen in session or on the table. It happens afterwards in the integration when these patterns that we've been working on come up again, and that micro moment where we're like, oh, that's the old pattern. I don't want to follow that old pattern anymore. I want to choose this new path. And it's that micro moment where we choose the new path. That is where the transformation happens. So I will try my best to record and document my journey as much as I can. I tend to like to just immerse myself and not record myself, but I do want to share this with you. So this is a good challenge for me. So thank you so much for joining me, and we will chat on the other side. So we're on the other side now, and I did not record any videos but we weren't allowed to record during training, and then I was so tired afterwards because we were learning so much. But now I'm offering free Spinal Energetics sessions for my practice. So if you're in Melbourne and you're curious, you'd like to give it a try, and you want to receive a session from me, I'll leave a booking link in the description and the comments below so you can book a session with me.